As Lincoln said, nation divided will not stand. As Pink Floyd said, united we stand, divided we fall. That was the ending to one of their songs. It always touched me. This is the only house I've ever lived in. This is the one I've been born and raised in. My day-to-day life is pretty much get up, eat breakfast, and either go to class or go to work. Yeah, 6:30 to 9:15 classes aren't that exciting, but for now, that's what my day-to-day life is. Most of my life was pretty much my childhood was being in the basement playing with like cars, Legos, building stuff. I mean, we had some vacations, not much I can remember, mainly when I was young, and that kind of thinned out, so I was pretty much just down here. So most of the time I was just thinking. So I suppose that's why I think the way I do.
So what are we doing today?
I am driving to class. Gonna take an exam, statistics. Part 2. Yay.
Part 2.
Yep.
Well, I am a conservative, probably somewhere around there. But like, I'm not against gay marriage. I'm not against people of those stuff. But I'm not exactly for it. I'm gonna let them be. I'm gonna let them be who they are. I'm not gonna say horrible things about them because they're people, they're human beings. They're trying to figure out their way in the world, and so am I. And, like, I'm primarily for having the Second Amendment. I'm primarily for having voter ID cards. I'm for people should know what they're talking about before they can throw their opinion in. Because like, that's the main reason why I don't jump into like anything about marijuana, because I don't know anything about marijuana. I barely passed the class talking about drugs and alcohol.
I passed it, pretty sure. Think so. Hope so. It seemed pretty easy. Statistics, so yeah. Pretty much everything's being done on Excel, it's just you gotta know what you're doing.
The way I see it is, the person with the opposite view, they can see some problem with my argument or something, and I could build upon that. They could actually see a weakness in a plan or something, and they can help strengthen that. So I feel that while it does cause trouble to have people work together that have the opposite opinions and opposite views, because it slows things down, hence like our congressional system, but it helps in the end because at least slow and steady wins the race. You can't force people to be quiet. It's not right. Because if someone has an opinion or someone has a good point and you're silencing them, you could be potentially causing doom for the future.
I am 1,000% suburbanite. I grew up right in the middle of the suburbs. Actually, since I've even grown up, it's become even more suburban, the type of neighborhoods where you look outside your back door and see another neighborhood. It's always kind of been that way. I don't know if that really impacts me. Where I went to school, it's kind of tricky because about 50 or 60% of us came from the suburbs, and then the other half came from the middle of nowhere, living in completely rural areas. So I can't say that even though I was raised in a suburban area, that boxed me into that environment, because I was kind of exposed to the different angle as well. With having a job in school, there is never a day that duplicates. I view being a college student as the prime time of your life to do what you want. Go out and make every day different. I try to set aside I know I'm going to be at work from this block of time to this block of time. I know that to be at least a somewhat responsible student, I need to set aside maybe 2 hours to do homework, and aside from that, I don't like getting stuck in ruts, so I don't want to see every day be the same thing. We don't live in a world where anybody has ever been able to agree 100%. Nothing really changed. There's a difference in variation of how we agree, but when you take it too far to the extent that people feel like they have a right to attack each other or call names, we've had two political parties for centuries. I don't know why now it became suddenly your whole identity as a human being is defined by your political standing. So my answer is kind of, why not? Why does that person not deserve respect or understanding just because they have a different opinion than you? At the time in my life where things were a lot different, I was a part of a club on campus that is a huge time commitment, and it's really a place where we try to be open-minded with each other, and it became so toxic of an environment that it became a no political zone, which for college-age students to not be able to control themselves to the point where these are your friends that are sharing a common space with you, and you can't hold a conversation anymore. 2 years ago, no one would even care. It doesn't matter which side you stand on. You need to collect your thoughts and think about what you say before you say it. If people are going to be generally respectful, then I don't have a problem with seeing the other side. A lot of the people that I've also seen here on campus tend to be moderately to the other side. The only thing that's going to make me get upset or get angry is if you start to use your views to put me down. I've been in situations where it gets so nasty. I mean, my intelligence gets horribly insulted, and I've been called names, and I think if somebody is able to sit down and have a conversation and they don't lose their cool, then why should I lose mine on them?
We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change.
I would say we're probably at a toss-up right now. People have to learn to be more careful and inviting for other people to come in.
Learning about each other and opening our minds to different opinions than our own, we need to work on that.
If they see that you will listen, then maybe they'll listen to you.
You are not less intelligent or less of an intellectual for feeling a certain way.
Maybe we can come back together. Because, yeah, nation divided will not stand.